wish I could more, and I think more of us could all deconstruct our assets. Happiness, you can't guarantee it, but there is a science to satisfaction. There, you can look at habits that engineered less pain in your life, maybe more pleasure, but at least less pain, and that's a win. I try to deconstruct. Look, do I write it? Did I used to write as much? Look, at anybody who's ever kept a diary. What's the old sort of nostalgic idea of a diary? You go there when you're in pain and you share thoughts that you don't want to share with anyone else of those reflection. And I did used to, for some reason, I don't know why, but would force myself to write every day, no matter how happy I was. And I didn't a lot of times want to go write when I was happy, because I was like, no, I don't need to write it. I don't need to become conscious of it. Come on, I'm doing it. It's living, it's happening. And in writing Greenlights, when I went back, that's a lot of the consistencies that I found that I wrote when things were going well, that I was for some reason, taking time to go, can I try and bottle some science here to why things are going well? And I did find consistencies. Who I was hanging out with at night, what I was drinking, what bar I was at, what food I was drinking, how exercise, preparation for work, for school. And I found things I was like, you were really happy in this segment of your life. Let's go back and look at what you were doing. Oh, man, I had Augmentino scrolls. I was on them every day. I had some discipline where I was checking in with myself. Oh, you were going to church on Sundays. You were saying thank you, God, before you went to bed each night. You were appreciating more. You were pointing out beautiful things and not taking them for granted. And so I found a list of things. I'm like, and when I get off track, I try to remind myself, you've been slacking on some of those. And I could pull it off. I've evolved. I got different ways. I get away with some now, but I've definitely found consistencies, and I think we all have them if we just notate them along the way, that they're not by accident. Because we sure as hell deconstruct the reasons when we're in the funk, and we don't believe they're by accident. We can take ourselves to behind the woodshed and show ourselves exactly why we're guilty for every reason and condemn ourselves for every damn reason we got to that spot. Let's cheers. Let's have a cheers on the way for all the things that will work for when we have shit going right. Also knowing that it's not forever, that we will have a mountain to climb here shortly. I wrote the other day, and then most of what I do is I use this notes app, right? And I wrote the other day, it was on that note. I was like, what's my best advice I need to give myself right now is listen to my own damn advice. Trying to live with less gravity and more backbone is a salty task. Trying to live lighter with less gravity, live lighter, not take certain things so seriously, but still have the principled backbone. Because as I'm getting older, we get older and the black and whites turn to gray, and then there's a great word, compromise, we all say, which is such a mature thing to do. And then all of a sudden we let things slide, and then we start going, well, change will happen. Hey, change is inevitable. Let change happen. And I'm not ready. That's part of getting old, I think, not just getting older. Same with cynicism. It's a disease of getting too old. And I don't want to be ready to give up certain things that I'm going, no, man. The beauty of ignorance, those things that we believed in. I've gotten away with so many things because of my ignorance. I would be dead 14 times in this life if I wouldn't have been ignorant of the situation I was in. Anyway, yeah, it's more backbone to hold on and be principled to what I stand for, what I stand against, when it becomes easier and easier to just go with the flow. And I'm not ready to go, let's just go with the flow. I don't want to pick the wrong battles. I'm trying to be discerning and not picking the wrong fights, because I like picking fights and going after challenges. But I'm kind of like, man, it's tough duty to win the fair fights. And there's a lot of unfair fights out there. And why do I want to spend my time, if I got 24 hours a day, picking unfair fights when I'm going to be busting my ass to win the fair ones? I think it's why a lot of relationships don't work. We make her Wonder Woman and she makes us Superman, and neither one of us can live up to it. And that we've got that honeymoon bulb turned up to 100 watts, and the honeymoon's over. we're trying to deal with some real base stuff. Let's leave it at 20 watts. We're just lit, but we're not just feverishly, superhuman. And I think a lot of us just purport that on someone else, and they can't live up to it. And it ends up not being fair to them. And then they do the same to us, and we both walk away going, I underwhelmed. I think that's the definition of a good partner. A good definition of a good husband, wife. That they remind us of the best of ourselves. They shine that light and remind us, because we do. I know I do. I put the blinds on it, and I don't see it a lot of times, and I'll be reminded. This has always been a thing for me. And I don't know how this correlates, but I've never been as good in my dreams as I am in real life. I never win the day, get the girl, ace the test. I can perform in my dreams. I never have, as well as I will in real life. And I guess what I'm saying is I'll pull something off. I'm like, did everyone see that? And my friends are like, no shit. That's you, bro. What's the biggie? You know what I mean? It's kind of what I like about living in Austin, Texas. They're not really impressed with shit that I pull off. They thought it was cool. I won an Oscar, but they were like, well, no shit. And I was kind of like, oh, all right. Yeah. Thank you, man. That's, and that's what friends will do in a way. Loved ones will do that and be like, yeah, there you are. What do you think about when you do succeed? And a lot of people go, I prescribed it. I think we should take some time to be able to look in the mirror and own that thing that we pulled off and go, good job. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. At the same time, be able to, as we do more often, look in the mirror when we fail and go, bogey. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's kind of big in the ownership idea of the fail or the gain. Ownership being really important. And I'm a fan of the ego. I wish people. Someone said this to me before. Look, this acquaintance said this. It came off the cuff. I didn't even think about it. She was like, Matthew, you're so full of yourself. And without thinking, I was like, well, who else am I supposed to be full of? Stopped after. I was like, that's exactly what I meant. And I went and wrote that down. I wish more people were more full of themselves. Not in the arrogant way, but I'm talking about a healthy ego to understand. And I understand the ego's difference between I and me. Me's the objective. But to know the I wish more people, I wish we were more full of ourselves. I wish more people in the world were more full of themselves. I think part of the challenges in life is a lot of us are running around half-assing ourselves, half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way. Hey, he's shaking hands with himself, and I got plenty of times where I'm the last guy I want to have a beer with. I'm happy to say I got some times where I'm like, yeah, it'd be nice. Would that be not more than nice is a better word than nice, but if go try to be today someone you want to have a beer with. It's a pretty good, easy way, pretty good bumper sticker. You know what I mean?